in high school, I sold lawn aeration door to door. Maybe like senior year, I and my friend went to the Career Center, and there was this like make money quick, you know, like $15 an hour or something. It's probably $10 an hour, and I was like, oh, holy cow, $10 an hour. And I remember going to like the local community college, and there was this guy named Phil, you know, with kind of one of these scuzzy porno mustache combination, sort of little soul patch kind of hair, facial things, facial hair things happening. I knew I would reach the term. And he was like, all right, here's the deal. And it struck me as like, okay, he's like, we've got this special process where we punch holes in the lawn and there's fertilizer and you're going to be an independent contractor. It sounded so glamorous. And he would drive us every weekend to these fancy, rich neighborhoods, and we would walk around and try to sell people. We had these little brown binders, and we would explain the process. You know, here's where the aeration is punched in, and most lawn treatment services aren't going to put a special fertilizer in, but it looks like, let me take a look at your lawn, and we had all this jargon. It looks like you got a little rust root there. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. It's a little desiccation. We had a whole rap. It was the most purely American kind of Willy Vlautin thing of like, I am going to sell somebody something that is deeply fraudulent and totally ornamental. In person as like, and now I think back on it and think, who the hell would buy from a high school kid, an obviously bepimpled high school kid, like $145 in lawn service? But a few people did, and it was a great thrill because, you know, you would say, all right, I made a sale, man. I just sold this big lawn, and we were all so psyched up about it. It was like a lesson in like just sort of how brutal capitalism is, how beggy and awful and full of deceit it is, but also how glamorous to have like spending money, to have earned it yourself by essentially conning somebody successfully. And I don't want to say this in a way that's like talking down writing, but there is a similarity in the sense that when you're working on something, you're basically convincing somebody else to convert your little specks of language on the page into some, through their own attention and their own emotional life, into some very real emotional experience, and to pay you for that experience. So that's kind of weird and miraculous when it does happen, and it's also sort of beggy. I mean, you know, I feel like oftentimes, especially given sort of my career, like I do feel like I'm still in a certain way going door to door and going, you're not going to believe this process. We're going to get to the root of the problem.